For all of you that are new to OBS, I have a tutorial here how to make your voice sound amazing. So we can make your voice go from this, doesn't sound too hot, but then we can change it around, add all these plugins and make it sound like this. So who wouldn't want to sound better? You know what I mean? That's a lot of your presentation when you're trying to put a video out, is to have crisp, clean audio. Let's get it, man. So first off, man, if you don't know how to add an audio source, definitely let me know. I'll do a video on it. But if you do, say you have your microphone set up, you have your stream set up, or you're just trying to record a screen capture like this, you have everything else set up, and you need to make your audio sound crisp. Well, there's a lot of ways around that, man. OBS offers some good made-in plugins already, but there's some that you can download, man. They're free. And the one I use is TDR Nova, man. It's actually a great plugin, and like I said, it costs you $0. You can search it on Google, download it, install it to your PC, and that's all you got to do. And then reset OBS and add your effects. I almost forgot how to show you guys how to add these plugins. So after you download TDR Nova, Google it. It's free. Install it to your PC, shut down OBS, and then reopen OBS. So you'll open your capture device filters, you'll click here, add VST2X plugin, name it whatever you want, and then you'll drop down this menu and you'll find TDR Nova there. That's how you get into TDR Nova. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So first things first with this, man, I always add a noise gate to any of my audio because a noise gate is cutting out unwanted sounds like the computer, for instance. So when I quit talking, as you can tell, it's gonna cut off. So it goes completely silent. You definitely want a noise gate on there. A noise gate is fairly simple to set up, man. So I'm gonna turn this noise gate off and let you guys hear what it sounds like. You can hear everything. There's a PC, a fan in the background. You know, it's not super loud in here where I record, but for the most part, you can still hear background noise. So let's turn it back on and everything is cut off. I'm gonna quit talking and see if you can hear it. Cuts everything out. Noise gate, man, with my settings, you can use these same settings. Depending on if you're setting super far from the mic, you don't want to mess with your open threshold too much, but put it on -42, and -32 should work for you as well if you're fairly close. Even back here, I can use -32. So if you're a distance away from your microphone, it should work regardless of the situation. Now, the more you turn it down, the more it's going to cut off, so I'm going to turn. Oh, I'd have to. So let's turn that back. The easiest way to tell what you need to chop off is to set your close threshold at -42, and then you'll see this little bar moving. And see how it's cutting everything off? There's nothing running. Now let me turn it all the way off, and now watch it. It's still picking up everything. So let's bring it all the way back to where I had it. -32 works for me. And once again, all the background noise is gone when I'm done talking. Okay, let's jump straight into EQs, man. I'm gonna cut this EQ off just to let you guys hear it without it. This is without the EQ. It's subtle, but it makes a huge difference. So with this EQ, let's turn it back on. Let's open it up. Pretty much, you don't have to do all this if you don't know about EQ. You can copy these same settings, and it's gonna make your voice sound better, but each voice has a different frequency, so it's not gonna be the same for me as it is for you, you know? But always use a high-pass filter when you're trying to record your voice, just to cut off any unwanted bumps or anything coming from the desk that's vibrating or anything. So we can cut it off at about 60 hertz for me. A lot of people would say 80 to 100, but how to add the high-pass filter is you just click high pass filter, man, and you drag this high pass filter bar back. So if you want to go to 100 or you want to go to 80 or 70, that's what you do. On the second EQ right here, I just dipped in to around 200 hertz. It just adds a little more clarity, cuts out a lot of the boxiness of your vocal. So if you want to copy those, you can. And how you do that is you'll click on one of these little balls, you'll cue it out. So let's just start at ground zero. Let's start our cue at 1, all right? So we want to take off some dB. So let's go negative. We'll bring it down about -2.5, something like that. And then we'll set our cue to, mine was at about 185, I do believe. So if you want to use those same settings, you can. Now your cue is what controls, you know, the dip. And then of course your gain is you're turning it up or down. On the third little EQ, same thing, you grab it. And if you want to boost it, you just grab the gain handle and then you turn it up or down. and you grab your Q and you turn it up or down. So like I said, this one works for my voice. It should work for yours. It'll definitely add clarity to your voice regardless. If not, just use a high pass filter and be done with it. I just did a little bit of extra right here. These aren't necessary for anybody and everybody, but we're gonna add some highs that are necessary to give you that crisp, clean sound. All right, so this is probably the most important plugin we're adding to our vocal chain, and that is a compressor, man. A compressor pretty much compresses everything. It makes all your vocals smash together. So if you're loud one part or you rage a lot, it's gonna mash it to the parts where you're talking normal. That's what a compressor does. It just pushes everything, pretty much keeps it. So if the waveform is everywhere, it just keeps it in a block. So it's going straight. So with the compressor, man, these settings will actually work for you just perfect. Now, if you want more compression, you can pull it back to -32. But if we come all the way back to like -40, -44, it's gonna really mash. I mean, you don't really want that. A good spot for hip hop vocals is a 4 on the ratio. The attack time, release time, you can look that up on a different video if you want to. Pretty much, you can leave it at the defaults and it'll work completely fine on the attack and release. Now your threshold, put it at -24.8, and then your ratio at 4.00. Now let's turn this compressor off. Yo, and if I'm talking like this, man, you're definitely gonna see that I'm getting louder. Now let's go ahead and put this back. But see, if I'm talking like this, man, or then I'm talking like this, it's all about the same. You know, you can't really make the mic distort with the compressor. You can if you're obviously talking all in it, but you get the point, right? Okay, so back to the bass boost, man. I pretty much boosted mine around 110 hertz. So if we turn this thing down, it's the same as yours will look. You just grab the first bar, you put your Q at whatever you want. I would do 165 if you're trying to sound kind of like mine, and then just put some gain on it. So if I gain to about 135 is what I keep it at. That's just a simple bass boost. You really don't need it, but if you want it, there it is. Now your de-esser, man, you definitely need it because we're adding highs to this mix. So put a de-esser on it, and it'll cut off anything like the hissing or harsh S's or anything like that. So your de-esser, I did the same thing. Added a new plugin. Go to here, VST, name it whatever I want. TDR Nova, click it. It's a preset though, and I just went DS split. Okay, to give you that crispy, clean sound, man, we're gonna add some highs to your mix. So once again, click the plus button right there. VST plugins, name it whatever you want. Go to TDR Nova, select TDR Nova, open plugin. So what I did here is I found what sounded good on mine, which I jacked up the gain, and then I queued it out to 0.87, so it has that perfect slope. You can use the same Q, and what I'm talking about with Q is this right here. So if we turn our gain all the way down, say it's at 0, this is what you start at, and I just went to this frequency, 16 kilohertz. Now if you want to find yours, put your Q right here at 0.87, jack it all the way up, press record, and you just talk and slide this this right here back and forth, so you'll be able to hear what sounds good and what doesn't. You know, so if it sounds really bad, just keep messing around with it and say which one. Say 10.6 kilohertz, 11.8 kilohertz, so you'll be able to hear what sounds best for your voice. But yeah, man, that's adding highs. That's everything you really need to know. So once again, let's turn all these off. This is with everything off, and this is with all the plugins on. What would you rather hear? Okay, man, if y'all enjoyed this OBS tutorial, definitely leave a like, definitely subscribe to the channel. I stream all the time, so if you guys want to check out my streams, Fortnite streams, Call of Duty streams, definitely subscribe to the channel. If you guys need tips on anything else with OBS, as far as bitrate goes, anything like that, setting up the scene, anything from Streamlabs as far as your subscribers go, anything like that, definitely let me know in the comments below and I'll make a video on it. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Streaks, I'm out here.